What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so Kanye West, rapper, entrepreneur, part-time political activist, full-time mental health patient, is at it again, right? So it's hard to believe that it was 17 years ago that Kanye West said what he said about George W. Bush during that telethon to raise money for the victims of Hurricane Katrina, who were primarily black and poor. And he said what a lot of us was thinking about George W. Bush, that he doesn't care about black people. I mean, that's what the evidence was telling us. And that was the second time that his administration dropped the ball on a major event that affected the lives of thousands of people, if not much more than that, and affected the nation. The Bush administration, the incoming Bush administration, was warned by the outgoing Clinton administration in January 2001 that Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden, were going to use commercial airlines as weapons against the American people. As late as August of 2001, there was a memo that the Bush administration received. Bush saw this memo himself, warning them of an imminent threat from Al-Qaeda as far as using commercial airlines against the American people. You know how they knew there was a threat, but they didn't tell us? Many people within government, elected officials, switched from commercial to private planes 3 weeks before the event occurred. So they knew the threat was there, and they did not warn the American people. And then on the day of the event, Bush sat on his ass for 7 minutes and did nothing. Then they were warned in 2005 of a catastrophic storm that could literally bury New Orleans under 30 feet of water. And they sat on their ass and didn't do much about it, didn't pay much attention to it, was somewhere talking about Social Security, safety net, privatization of Social Security somewhere, Bush in a speech in Arizona, and didn't give a fuck about New Orleans. So that's the second time he dropped the ball on some. So when Kanye West said what he said, if he had ran for president in 2008, he wouldn't have won a damn state, but he would have got 95% of the black vote. But that was then and this is now. Kanye West, unfortunately, has fallen victim to the capitalist system. Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing wrong with the capitalist. I don't have any issue with the capitalist system. I have nothing against making money. It's a beautiful system in principle. But the thing about it, when you want supreme wealth like that, you have to make some sacrifices, especially if you're black. You can't be an activist. Well, you can't be a black activist and expect to be a multi-billionaire. It doesn't work like that in this country. Oh, but you can sell your people out and do it. But the funny thing about it, he somehow tricked a lot of people into thinking that he's not a sellout. But anyway, at a recent fashion show, Kanye West wore a White Lives Matter shirt in protest of the Black Lives Matter movement. And this caused a lot of people to leave the event and has caused a lot of people, notable people, to make a point about this. I mean, to blast Kanye about this. This is what Boosie Badass had to say on his Twitter. After all we've been through as a race, you put this disrespectful shit on. You gives no fuck about how blacks have died and suffered to the hands of the white man. And you say Bush don't like black people? Really, nigga? Referring to when Kanye said what he said about Bush. Now later on, Kanye said some shit about how Black Lives Matter is a scam and that's why he's wearing the shirt or whatever, right? Look, are the people, a lot of people who run Black Lives Matter, like running the movement, were they skimming? Were they stealing money? Yes. Yes. Were they grifters? Yes. But guess what, Kanye? A lot of people that have been pushing this 2020 steal shit have done the exact same thing. Raise money for supposedly to force Congress to redo the elections, which is not going to happen because it's in the Constitution that we only have these elections every 4 years on a particular day. So it's all bullshit. They scamming your punk asses. But you don't talk about that, Kanye, do you? You fucking bootlick motherfucker, you. And if you really are true to your word, you fucking yellow streak porch monkey bitch, if you really were true to your word, then you would say on your shirt, all lives matter. Because isn't that what they countered with us? Oh, Black Lives Matter is divisive. Says all lives matter. Right? So why am I not seeing this from this shit? Isn't this divisive? Shouldn't your shirt say all lives matter? So it's okay to say white lives matter, but black lives don't? You are a fucking jigaboo fucking coon ass nigga. You are super jig, cut a rug, Fred Astaire tap dancing, up on stage, shuffling and fucking doing the fucking wadi-do with Shirley Temple ass coon ass nigga. Jesus Christ. Then he's on stage with none other than Candace Owens. Wow, man. Look, am I saying there weren't rogue elements of Black Lives Matter? Of course. Whenever you have anything that big, you're going to have crookedness. But 90% of Black Lives Matter protesters were peaceful. And the originators of the Black Lives Matter movement had great intentions, which is more than I can say for those motherfuckers who went out there on January 6th and literally tried to overthrow the government and were pissing and shitting and actually killed Capitol Police officers, which is funny because when the shit happened, Capitol Police officers let these motherfuckers in. Sympathizers. Whereas when Black Lives Matter protesters were in front of the White House several months earlier, these motherfuckers were armed to the teeth, with fucking chemical weapons and smoke grenades and all types of shit and tear gas and lethal weapons and all that type of shit. But when it was an actual threat, these motherfuckers went from Judge Dredd, I am the law, to fucking Barney Fife. Oh, I had that. I need more than one bullet. I had that. Fuck out of here, man. Shout out to Boosie Badass for calling out this fucking piece of shit.